A shocking phrase, a viral repost, and a debate that refuses to die in America. This time it's not just about policy, it is about language, it's about identity, and it is pulling entire India, entire China, and the entire United States immigration into the center of a political firestorm. Ladies and gentlemen, gangsters with laptops. That's the line that triggers a storm here. It all began with a repost though. US President Mr. Donald Trump shared a clip from conservative radio host Michael Savage, a voice already known for hardline immigration views. But this time, the wordings, they were explosive. The phrase used was gangsters with laptop, and it was aimed at immigrants from India and China working in the United States, specifically in the tech sector. A phrase that has now gone viral and controversial in equal measures. Well, the claim behind the controversy, let's talk about that. The argument in the clip, that's simple but highly charged. It claims that children born in the US to temporary visa holders automatically get the citizenship and that this is being misused. It goes further, suggesting that some families then bring relatives into the country through legal pathways. And then comes the most sensitive part here. The claim that immigrants from countries like India and China are dominating the tech jobs in America, while Americans are being pushed out. Though let me tell you here, there is no verified data that is provided for these sweeping comments. Then, Mr. Trump enters the debate again by reposting the clip on his platform. Mr. Trump, he has once again placed himself at the center of America's immigration debate. This is not really new ground for him though, but the timing, that is very important to note. A major legal battle is already unfolding in the US Supreme Court over birthright citizenship. And now this repost, that adds political heat to an already constitutional fight. But you know what is this policy fight really about? At the heart of this controversy is a single clause in the US Constitution, the 14th Amendment. It currently guarantees citizenship to almost anybody that is born on the American soil. But Mr. Trump's position, it challenges this. His push is to limit the citizenship for children who are born to the non-citizens on temporary visas or undocumented status. Supporters call it closing loopholes, but critics, they call it a direct attack on constitutional rights. Another question, well, fact or friction, what is it? The repost that also touches another sensitive topic, Silicon Valley hiring. It suggests that Indians and Chinese professionals, they dominate the tech jobs in California and that American workers are being sidelined. But you know what, experts say that the reality here, that's more complex. Yes, Indian origin professionals, they form a large part of the United States tech workforce, specifically through skilled visa program like the H-1B. But calling it a takeover or linking it to a criminal behavior, it is widely rejected by analysts and industry leaders. Indian Americans, they are very strong and they are very clear here. Well, the reaction from the Indian American groups, it has been very, very swift. They call this particular language harmful, stereotyping and unfair to millions of professionals who contribute to the US economy. Engineers, doctors, startup founders, CEOs, most of them are of Indian origin, many of them American citizens today. Their message is simple: hard work is being replaced by harmful labels. But supporters, they call it something else. On one side, you have Mr. Trump supporters who argue that this is about fairness in job and immigration control. They say the system is overloaded. They say American workers are losing opportunity, and they say immigration law, it needs urgent change. So here we have two Americas, two completely different narratives. And now, well, there is Supreme Court factor too, right? This is no longer just a political talk. The issue is heading towards the highest court in the United States. The Supreme Court is expected to decide whether executive actions can reshape birthright citizenship rule. A ruling here, it will not just affect policy though. It can impact millions of families, present and future. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the bigger question that is hanging over America today. This debate is no longer about immigration. It's about identity. Well, who gets to become a US citizen? That's the big question. By birth, by law, by vote. And as political voices grow louder, the conversation is becoming more emotional, more divided, and far more global. Because when America debates immigration, the word is always part of the story.